There have been major developments today in the Supreme Court with respect to the horrible rape and murder at the RG Kar Medical Hospital that took place on the 9th of August, where a 31-year-old doctor, a medical professional, was raped and murdered within the hospital premises. You had hearings today in the Supreme Court with representations from the West Bengal government as well as the centre. And here's what the Chief Justice of India, Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, said during the proceedings when the Supreme Court had taken suo motu cognizance of this matter.
There is a virtual absence of safe conditions of work for young doctors across the country, particularly in public hospitals. Most of the young doctors have to put in somewhere
36 hours.
We find that there are no duty rooms available, no separate restrooms or duty rooms available for men and women doctors, for the other nursing staff, for the paramedical staff who are also on duty. And therefore, we must evolve a national consensus to ensure that there must be a standard national protocol to ensure that safe conditions of work are provided.
Well, we have Bhavtosh as well as Sabyasachi now joining us for more on this. Bhavtosh, coming to you first. Three key developments, three key takeaways from the Supreme Court hearing today. One is, of course, that a national task force has now been constituted to look into the issue of safety of medical health professionals across the country. They're expected to submit an interim report in about 2.5 months' time. The state government has been given a couple of days to, in fact, appraise the Supreme Court of all the developments and all the updates with respect to what's been happening in the vandalism case at the RG Kar Medical Hospital. And the CBI also has been given 2 days' time to update the Supreme Court about the progress made in the investigation of the rape and murder so far since it took over the case.
Yes, Siddharth. In fact, it's very rare that a case that has already been handed over to CBI by the Calcutta High Court would be taken up suo motu by the Supreme Court. And there was some very tough and very scathing observation by the Supreme Court when it comes to safety of hospital staff and doctors, both for centre as well as for the state government. The Chief Justice said that it's not only when that sexual assault happens that society's conscience should shake up. He also said that women, particularly when they are part of hospital staff, that they are most vulnerable because of the patriarchy that is ingrained in the society. He also said that there are no common common toilets for in medical facilities. He importantly asked CBI to submit a status report within 24 to 36 hours. This is because CBI has been investigating this case for now nearly a week's time, but there has been no breakthrough. CBI has only arrested one accused, and this accused has also been transferred by the Kolkata police. Now, importantly, the Chief Justice of India said that peaceful protesters should not be subjected to the state's power. This is because the West Bengal police yesterday arrested a college student who in fact posted a very offensive Instagram post, but the Chief Justice, without naming her or without naming anyone, said that a state's power should not be used for peaceful protesters. Kapil Sibal said that they have not done so, but there have been a slew of arrests that have taken place in West Bengal, particularly in Calcutta. He also said that why was Calcutta police not aware of the vandalism that happened immediately when there was on the eve of Independence Day, when this protest was taking place, which was dubbed as reclaiming the night, and this protest in fact led to vandalism. He said that it could be possible that there was destruction of evidence during that night, though Kolkata police have completely denied and debunked this.
Right, let's in fact once again tune in to what's been happening in the Supreme Court. Let's tune into the hearing once again. So you still have Mr. Tushar Mehta representing the centre, he's the Solicitor General of India, and you have Mr. Kapil Sibal representing the government of West Bengal in this matter. There was, of course, a verbal exchange between the centre and state as well in the Supreme Court, when the centre specifically said that the status report that's being currently filed by the West Bengal government, for which it's been given 2 days by the Supreme Court, should also be shared with the centre, to which Mr. Kapil Sibal said that there's every possibility of that particular report being leaked on the social media, inviting unnecessary commentary. So that was one exchange that was witnessed between the centre as well as state. Let me go back once again to our reporters. Sabyasachi joins us. But before that, we have Mr. Riju Datta joining us from the Trinamool Congress. Mr. Datta, how do you see what's been panning out in the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court has taken suo moto cognizance of this case. Some very harsh observations being made orally by the Chief Justice of India with respect to the action, or the inaction rather, of the principal of the RG Kar Medical College.
The Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, in all its wisdom, whatever observations they have made orally are very accurate, are very true. This principal is grilled by the CBI for the last 4 days. If there is any incriminating evidence against him, he should be arrested. I don't know why CBI has not arrested him. If there is evidence, if there is no evidence, fair enough. Secondly, the Supreme Court has also observed that this case is just not limited to Kolkata, but raises systematic issues regarding safety of doctors across India, which should be addressed. And CPA, the Central Protection Act, which the doctors want, should be implemented immediately by the union government, when they can bring out a law in BNS that if there is a death by negligence caused by a doctor will be imprisoned. Then why for doctors' protection, BJP cannot implement the Central Protection Act? So that should also be implemented, which the Supreme Court has observed. And lastly, the most important thing the Supreme Court has observed, for which the entire national media have been targeting Trinamool Congress, that why you are Trinamool Congress, that why Kolkata police is sending summons to everybody. That's the Supreme Court.
But there are a few observations that you appear to have missed, Mr. Riju Datta. In fact, the Chief Justice of India also, at the time that the hearing began, did question about why there was a possibility of the evidence being, in fact, reduced or destroyed in this particular matter. That question was also directed at the lawyers representing the West Bengal government. There was also concern that was shared by the Chief Justice of India over the inaction of the principal and how he came to be reappointed to another college within hours of, in fact, being taken out of the RG Kar Medical College. Those are questions that the state government has to answer.
The entire investigation is under the CBI. The Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice of India, I am sure he has made, like I said, he has made accurate observations. But what I wanted to say is that the most important observation that the Chief Justice has made today is that the spread of fake news and the spreading of the name and the picture of the victim in this case, which is a criminal offense.
And what about the aspect of vandalization, sir? Let no power of the West Bengal government be unleashed on peaceful protesters. This came after a strong charge that was made by the central government, Mr. Tushar Mehta, in court, where he appeared to indicate that the West Bengal government was not doing enough to prevent vandals from unleashing what they did on the RG Kar Medical College.
Out of those vandals, I'm sure the lawyers representing the state are quite competent. I know who they are. They are the two best lawyers in this country, and they will say that in the vandalism incident, till now, 37 people have been arrested. The names, the address, and the age and the entire biodata of those are being published by the Kolkata police in public forum in front of press media. So everybody can find out what political affiliations they have come from. It was a pre-planned attack to defame Bengal under the garb of a peaceful protest.
Right. The investigation now rests with the CBI. They'll be submitting a status report in a couple of days. The West Bengal government will also have to submit a status report with respect to what happened and the action taken over the vandalization incident at the RG Kar Medical College as well. Let's listen in once again to some strong observations that were made by the Chief Justice of India, Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, in the Supreme Court today.
Ultimately, It's not that every time that there is a rape or murder that the conscience of the nation is awakened. We have to do something right here and now to ensure that these conditions of safety are maintained in terms of protocols which will not just be on paper, but protocols which will be enforced across India.
So that was, of course, something that the Supreme Court said today during a suo motu hearing in this very pressing matter. Heated exchange between the centre as well as the state government. Three very important takeaways. A national task force has now been constituted with members chosen by the Supreme Court itself. As many as 8 members now looking into the safety issues pertaining to medical health professionals across the country.